down here at Pool Mill Landing. I'm gonna put in on the North Edisto today. Going down. I honestly don't know how far. Might even be a multi-day trip. I got my stuff packed in case I decide I want to stay the night. I'd really like to make it to Orangeburg, to like the Edisto Memorial Gardens, but that's a long ways, and it's definitely probably a 2-day deal, maybe 3-day deal. I don't know what the river's gonna look like. It's definitely low here. I've driven across this bridge a bunch of times going to Columbia from Williston, and never pulled in to check it out. It's kind of hard to get into. The drops and the ruts in it are pretty bad. Like I said, the water's, as you can tell, pretty low because it's on the dirt part of the ramp here. But we're gonna give her a shot, see what happens. Hopefully the river ain't too clogged with limbs and logs, but I'm excited. It's about 9:15 in the morning. I'm gonna run a little bit late, but I was doing that concession stand last night and I was tired this morning and didn't feel like getting moved. So let's get on the water. There's the bridge in the background. Like I said, it's the first time I've been on the North Edisto. So we'll see if she treats me as good as the South Edisto has. Looks good so far, but I've only gone about 15 feet. I'm gonna turn you around and show you what it looks like. Like I said, it looks very similar to the South Edisto. So, like I said, we'll just see how the log situation turns out. That's usually the main thing. We got plenty of flow here, so I don't feel like the river depth will be a problem. Just potentially log jams. Heard you've got some strainers like you can see in front of me, but heard that it's hopefully not too terrible. I'm sure I'll have to get out and pull over something at some point, but hopefully it'll be doable. So every video that I have seen of people putting in here, everybody shows off the boat. Somebody's boat. That boat should have been down here to begin with. It's too big for this particular area. And like I said, there ain't no getting that boat out at this point. It's deep in there. Take a heck of a chain and a heck of a boat to pull it out. But, yep, evidently if you put in at Pools Mill, you got to show off the abandoned boat right here, right close to the bridge. Just wanted to give you a little bit of my view pattern. This area so far reminds me of the Aiken State Park area on the South Edisto. Not quite as deep and everything as it is around Davisburg area or Springfield. So, like I said, Aiken State Park area is kind of what's sitting with me right here. Like I said, it's similar to it. But then it pulls me. I will say the river is flowing here. Like I'm moving along pretty good. Look, see, I don't know if you can see the dunk up there. All over down here. First time on the North Edisto, but I'm an Edisto River rat through and through. So, enjoy being able to get out there. Now, it looks like we're coming to our first pullover. That is a really big freaking tree. I'm going to try to do something here. Gonna try to do something here that I don't normally do. Gonna try to film with the GoPro on while I pull over this really big log so you can see the process. I'm gonna pull up to it. Because obviously everybody else has been going over because it's smooth. There we go. Strip the boat down. Won't lose it. My phone in my pocket so I don't lose it in case something catastrophic happens. First one's always rough when you got like a center balance. But luckily this is a really big log. Water was higher, you go this breezy. Get down on it. This is another reason I work on this spray skirt. Grab on Let's see. Now, just kind of divvy your way out a little bit. Kind of balance yourself. Ease yourself back in, just like so. Like I said, the first one's always the hardest one because you don't always have your center of balance first thing in the morning. But I've definitely done worse than that before, so whew. Let's get back to it. Bring you back to something interesting. Just gonna continue floating the river. It's done split on me, so I don't know if it was a cut through or not, but I took the right one this time instead of the left one because last time I took the left cut through, you know, if you've seen my videos, you know I kind of got screwed. So, but bring you back on something good. Got another big log jam. I done pulled over to the shallow side, where it's a little bit wider, got a little more grip on it. Plus it was, I don't have to pull my boat up as high. I'm gonna do it right here in front of me, over this little small ledge, put it on that grass, which is nice and easy, and then scooch it on around. That's the plan. So what I've noticed here, a lot of strainers, but like I said, not too many complete river closures due to logs yet, or blockages, however you want to say it. And if there is one, it's because it's giant. So like cutting this log would be a task and a half. You'd have to really know what you were doing. So I'm gonna get up over it. This water's hauling tail, so I do have to be careful. And it's a little nippy this morning, so I really don't want to fall in this trip. The last two trips I have fallen in the water. And I don't want to do that today, so I'm trying to be a little extra special careful. But I'm gonna get over here, and then we'll bring you on to the next cool thing. You know I'm gonna show you if I see a pipe running in the river right there. And that's a big one right there. Big old dock too. I just come across that. Like I said, we on the North Edisto. I don't know what your rules and regulations is over here, and I have no idea whose property's who. So I'm kind of in foreign territory over here. But that is and they pumping some water right there during the summertime, I bet. I have no clue where it goes. It's got like a walkway that goes down that the pipe follows. So it's got a huge valve. Interesting though. They got it in a good spot. Deep part of the river, right where the current's at. Kind of in a curve. Good location for a big pipe. Well, you see the bridge behind me. Pretty much made it to, I think it's called Jones Bridge Landing. Let me show you my map. So the DNR sells this little booklet that tells you the Edisto River, the North, South, and Main Edisto River put-in points and stuff. So we put in at Pools Mill Landing there near mile marker 67. We're right here at Jones Bridge Landing, or like I said, you see where it connects there. So we've been about 7 miles. About 7 miles, and it's 11:59, so right at noon. So a little less than 3 hours, and we've been about 7 miles. So not quite 3 miles an hour, somewhere between 2 and 3 miles an hour. So up next, we should see Carson's Park. That'll be in about, what is that? 1, 2, 3, about 4 more miles after this. So we're making it pretty good. So here's the landing itself. The DNR listed as more of a canoe put in or a kayak put in. But if you old country boy like me, if I wanted to put my john boat in here, this is actually pretty decent. So it's got concrete comes down to it, and the sand's fairly good, doesn't have any drop off. So I wouldn't have any qualms putting my john boat in here either. It is pretty tight up there, but I mean that's how the Edisto River boat ramps are. They're all really tight. So, but figured I'd show you this. Up next, we got Carson's Park, I think, or something like that. It's going smooth so far. Like I said, averaging almost 2.5 miles an hour. I have stopped a couple times, used the restroom, looked at stuff. A couple of houses and stuff that I did see that were kind of cool. Some deer stands and stuff. I didn't get out on the bank. I didn't feel like you wanted to see deer stands, and I don't like showing people's houses. I feel like that's a little bit of an invasion of privacy, unless it's like a historical house or something, or like a hunting club with a really cool place. But anyways, I'm gonna continue on down. If I see something interesting, I'm gonna bring you back, show it to you. And other than that, if I don't see anything interesting, you'll see me at the next boat ramp. I'll show you what Carson's, what is it called? I'm gonna pull my booklet back out. That way I can tell you exactly what it's called. Show you exactly what, yeah, it's called Carson's Park. Exactly what Carson's Park looks like. So this particular section between the Jones Bridge and the Carson's Park, it splits all kinds of ways, and the cut through and the main river look about the same, so you can't really say one's the main river and one's the cut through most of the time. I hadn't had to pull over any logs yet, but I have had to bump over some, you know, kind of get a little roaring start. I got caught by a strainer on the side of the head and darn near flipped the boat just a second ago, so I'm taking me a little breather. So it rubbed me pretty good right there compared to the other side, I guess, but it'll be all right. I'm just glad the boat didn't flip. I got a little water in it, mostly just got myself wet over on this side because it come up. I got a pretty high edge on it, and it's pretty stable, so I'll be all right. But making pretty good time. But like I said, this area probably reminds me of that second half between Davis Bridge Road and Springfield, where the river cuts into all kind of different channels, and you can't really tell which is the best one to take. But I'm just making it through. Good thing so far is all the little cuts and everything that I've taken have been short ones. I don't want to get in a situation where I'm at a cut that gets me way far away from the river like I did on my last trip. So I'll bring you back if something interesting happens or I see something interesting. Hopefully it'll stay pretty mild, and that little strainer will be the last time I have to do something stupid like that. And everything will be smooth sailing from here on out. So I have made it to the Carson's Park or something like that. I feel like they got a pretty cool little zip line or something going from that tower back there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a tower back there, about right there. It zip lines down to that tree. That's interesting. It goes over the river, but it doesn't cross the river, which is good. So I guess they just zip line down and drop in. Be a heck of a ride. Not for me. But it's 1:30, so I've done 4 miles in approximately an hour and a half. That's trucking it pretty good for me. So I'm gonna get down here to the actual landing and stretch my legs. I've been sitting all morning, but it's going pretty good. Can't complain. There's a couple houses over here, real nice houses. So did this section in an hour and a half. For somebody that wants some adventure and wants to experience the river splitting in all different directions, this would be a good one to do for the day, because if you make a mistake, like I said, it's only an hour and a half between bridges, straight shot, so you can kind of explore some of them side channels. I've got to get through here, so I'm going to put you down. This water's hauling ass through this bridge, and the last thing I want to do is to turn over underneath these strainers with the bridge. So evidently the first bridge is like a whole railroad bridge there, and then getting ready to go into the main bridge now. I don't really know where the takeout point is. I think it's up here in front of me. That's interesting. Like I said, I'm about to go between the pylons of this big one. It died too. Whew. It's been very breezy today as well. Like I said, I think, because I looked it up on Google Earth before I came, because I try to be familiar with where I'm going. But I think the park itself, I'm paddling with one hand right now because I'm holding the camera, is up here in front of me on the right hand side. Maybe not necessarily, yeah, it's up yonder. It's not necessarily at the bridge, it's kind of off the bridge. So I'll bring you up when we get there. So yeah, they got like a nice little ramp here, facilities up top. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull out here at the ramp and stretch my legs and then give a bird's eye view. So yeah, it's like a full-on park. They got little docks. They got like a volleyball net down yonder. So like I said, I pulled out at the thing. Got a little trash can here. I'm gonna throw my trash in the trash and be a good steward of the river. Unlike a lot of people, because I have seen a lot of bottles and stuff in the water on the way down. Always good to stretch the legs too, because you never know when you're gonna have to get out the boat and go over something, around something, or just need to use your legs. Also got a couple rope swings here too, swinging into the river. Pergolas. It's a pretty nice place. It's a really good boat ramp. Look like putting in a John boat. Oh, Slab Landing, 7 more miles. Like I said, this is Carson's Park. Slab Landing, 7 more miles. At least want to make it there. When I get there, I have to make the choice on whether I take out for the day and call it quits for this weekend and come back next weekend or a weekend after that or something and do the next section, or if I'm just gonna stay the night and get adventurous with it. So I'm packed for either. But I'm gonna get back in the water. I'm below Carson's Park, paddling towards Slab Landing. Just kind of wanted to give you a little river view. I think it's done some flooding down here sometime lately because there's a lot of coolers and stuff from the houses up there that's then got floated down the river. I see some flower pots, some coolers and stuff. But nice area. Got some nice houses too along this stretch. Keep scaring off like I think it's a blue heron that's following the river with me. Let me turn you on around here, show you what I'm seeing. Try to give you the best river view I can give you. I should knock the strap down. There you go. Keeping a pretty steady pace of paddling, but trying to be kind of stealthy. Hadn't seen any deer today, which is surprising. I saw some on the drive up to the boat ramp, but I hadn't seen any on the river. So I don't know if they're starting to shy away from the river because it's cooling down, or if this section just doesn't have as many deer as the other section I was on, or what it could be. But it's nice down here. There's a bunch of places to fish too. I didn't bring a rod because I knew it would distract me too much. I really wanted to get the paddling of the section done. But there's a lot of little sloughs and backwaters that a nice cast would probably pull a good fish out of. Looks like we're coming to a power line here. Something just swirled in the water there. Seen a lot of turtles. Hadn't seen any snakes, no alligators, but I think that's just because it's a little bit cool, or cooler than it has been. I'm just paddling down. Nothing to it. The best part of the trip is the actual trip part, not the beginning or the end, the middle. So, take you another bend or so and then get back to paddling on my own, I guess. They even got some cattails over here on the left hand side. What you'll see like ahead of us, we got some logs across the river, but they're got enough water over them just to kind of bump over them. And slide off of them. Takes a little bit of effort, but you ain't got to get out the boat or nothing. And you're right back on your way. Just a little bump in the road. Boat's getting lighter as we paddle too, because I've been drinking a lot of Gatorade. A couple of Mountain Dews too, I ain't gonna lie to you. Done ate half of my lunch. But I'm gonna continue on. I'll bring you up to something, or show you something when there's something worth showing. But this is pretty much what the trip looks like the whole way, so come up over there. That one's a little smoother than the last one. There's been a good bit of that. Like I said, not really having to get out, but at least having to get your power up and get over some of them logs. Alright, so there is a log down here that needs jumping. So I'm gonna get up some real good speed so that we can just hit it and go over it. Oh yeah. See what I'm talking about? Nothing to it. Jesus, we got lucky as heck, because there was a big wasp nest right there by it too. So I'm glad they didn't get pissed off at me. Whew. Nothing to it, right? Straighten my GoPro up. Them wasp nests down here, I've seen some bigger than I've ever seen in my life. I mean, like, massive. And they're not hornets, they just those red wasps. So you really have to keep your eye open anywhere you're going down here to make sure that you're not winding up in a tree that has those and pissing them off. And the majority of the time, as long as you don't hit them, they'll leave you alone. But it's better to be safe than sorry, and try to keep the distance from them if you can. See that bird? I don't know if you'll be able to see him on camera fly by. But I'm gonna continue on down. And I just wanted you to see, you can jump a lot of these logs, you get your little speed up. So you don't always have to get out, you just gotta get a running start. Check out these birds. Like, can you tell me what those are? Because I have no clue. Well, me and my daddy did a long trip down here back in 2008. We honestly called them shit birds. Because a lot of times they would stay up in the tree, and then when you went under the tree, they'd try to shit on you. To the point where some of them were really, really accurate, and we had shit fall on the boat as we went under the tree. I don't know what they are. So, bird people out there, if you could see that clear enough to tell me what those are, that would be really cool. See the alligator in front of me? Oh, trying to get the camera to turn on, but I think you saw him. That's the second one I've seen on this section of river. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let me see if I can get over this. Definitely don't want to get out and mess with the gator. If I can help it. Woo. That one was a little bit smaller than the first one I saw. He was cruising down the river and kept his head up. The other one went over and down real quick when I first saw him. That one was a little more active. That's two big alligators I've seen on the North Edisto River. That's what I'm talking about. Whew. Wait. That was pretty cool. Now check this out. What is this? You see it? It's straight ahead, like right there. Is that a boat? Was that a boat? I don't know. Yeah, I think that was a boat at one time. It's not a boat anymore. Interesting. Well, this video is getting kind of long, so I'm gonna take it out. Stop it here, and I'll bring you back if I see anything else interesting. So I'm sitting right up here, just pulled over on the bank, a couple bends up from Slab Landing. I got Beth coming to pick me up. I was gonna spend the night. I got my hammock, tarp, sleeping bag, the whole works in here to spend the night, but there's a lot of people hunting around here. A lot of loud noises going off, you know what I'm saying. A lot of alligators. Like, I did not expect to see the amount of alligators and the size of alligators that I have seen today. Like, some of the biggest gators I've seen in the Edisto, the upper Edisto, not the salt or the brackish water Edisto, but in the freshwater river Edisto that I've probably seen in my life. So I saw two really big ones. Like, I swear one was at least 12 foot and the other was probably 10. I caught one of them on that previous video, but I'm prepared to swamp camp. I was gonna go on down to Ballman's and try to make it there by 7, but I don't know. It's like 11, almost 12 miles, and it's 4:30. So that would give me sort of to make it there by 7 o'clock. That's what, 2.5 hours. I don't think I could do 12 miles in 2.5 hours on the Edisto here. If it was like the Savannah, it wouldn't be a problem. But not the Edisto, not the trees I'm going to have to deal with. And I don't know what that section looks like. Just because the section above it's good doesn't mean the section below it's good. So, especially when you're talking about a length of that distance. So, I'd hate to get down there, think I could make it before dark and not be able to make it before dark, and then so you never know what you're going to deal with when it comes to camping down here in the swamp. So I've done it before. It's not that I mind doing it. It's just the mosquitoes. I mean, I got mosquito spray, but it only goes so far. I have a really comfortable bed at home. So I'm gonna sit here till she gets close, and then when she gets close, she's gonna let me know. I'll meet her down there at the boat ramp. I'll show it to you when I go to load the truck up. But like I said, it's been a fun trip. Made it a lot quicker than I thought I was gonna make it. So might as well say I could have been at the ramp down there at 4:30, but I ain't gonna sit at the ramp because you never know who's sitting down at the ramp. I've learned that on any place that you go as far as boat ramps. So I don't really like to hang out without a vehicle down at the boat ramp and leave myself out in the open like that. So I left it this morning at 9:15. It's now 4:29. What does that make that? 10, 15, 11, 15, 12, 15, 1, 15, 2, 15, 3, 15, 4, 15, 4, 15. That's what? 7 hours and 15 minutes of paddling. And I've gone almost 18, 20 miles. It's not terrible. Not terrible. So I will return to Slab Landing and probably go slab all the way down to the Orangeburg Memorial Edisto Gardens or whatever it's called on my next trip. I think that's going to be my plan. And then I'll have to go from there on down eventually to Zigzag Landing. I think I'm going to try to make it from Edisto Memorial Gardens all the way down to Zigzag. I don't know if I'm able to pull that off or not. But I do know when you get down that way, you at least get more sandbars and stuff to deal with as far as decent camping goes, instead of just straight swamp mosquito camping. So anyways, bring you back around here to the ramp real quick. We'll throw this boat on the back of the truck and get on out of here. Old Slab Landing right here. There's the bridge. Here is the landing. There's plenty of space out here too. A little cabana. River's nice and wide down here. So this would be a good place to camp if it wasn't a landing. But this is where I call it for the day. The ride should be here shortly. Get everything organized so I can just throw it in the truck and we can head on out. Appreciate y'all watching. Y'all take care, and as always, Lord willing, I will see you next time.